Welcome, everyone, to the Tri-State Audi Knicks post-game show. Knicks and the Rockets. A little bit too close for comfort. Nerlens Noel, 3 blocks back in the lineup. Alec Burks, 17 of his season-high 20 in the fourth quarter. Emmanuel quickly came up big as well, and the Knicks beat the Rockets 106-99. Great to have you with us from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pito along with Monica McNutt, Alan Hahn, Wally Zerbiak. The Rockets come in having lost 13 in a row. They were 1-14. I don't know, Wally, how significant the win is, but we do know how significant a loss would have been.
Ooh, we don't have to worry about that.
Thank you, God.
Ooh, whoa, that was close, though. That first quarter, 13 points, not being able to shoot it all. Julius Randle, again, struggling shooting at 4 for 15. R.J. Barrett at 4 for 13, not shooting the ball well. This is a problem that those two are going to have to correct. Now, at the same time, you found a way to get a win with a lot of guts and with an impressive performance by your bench, mainly Alec Burks. He's playing like the best player on this team. Let's just say it out as the last few games, the guy that Coach Thibodeau trusts to give the ball to at the end of the game and close the game and make shots, it's Alec Burks. He had 4 threes in the fourth quarter. He had 17 points. He's the guy that deserves the minutes. I love what I saw from Fournier tonight. He looked like he was more engaged. He looked like he was aggressive. He looked like he said, well, I'm not going to wait for the ball to come to me because it's never going to come to me, so I'm just going to shoot it every time I touch it. So that's what sometimes you have to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, he got himself into the game. He got himself engaged, and he played great.
This is why you pay Burks 3 years, $30 million. This is why depth was so important to this team, because you got to get through this right now with your main players not playing like your main players lately. But you know, I will say the stat of the night that I said to watch in this game was the fact that the Rockets turned the ball over, and they did in this game. 22 turnovers, which is they were the worst in the league in turnovers and the worst in the league in opponent points off turnovers, and the Knicks took advantage of it. 25 points off those turnovers. That's a big part of it, along with the fact that in the second half, so they start the game off 2 for 9 from 3, and I know we're all yelling, stop shooting threes, stop shooting threes. Second half, 11 of 22. So they got into a rhythm. A couple of guys got hot, especially Alec Burks. And the 3-ball was to their advantage in this game, but it wasn't pretty.
Oh, man. But you know what? Winning is hard, and finding out a way to win deserves to be celebrated, so they managed to do that. But I'll go to the stats that stood out to me at halftime, which spoke more to the physicality of the basketball game as opposed to anything else. And one of them was those rebounds, right? And so they were out-rebounded at the end of the first half. But in the second half, the Knicks actually out-rebounded the Rockets by 1, but they already had that deficit, so it shows up on the overall box score. But they picked up the intensity when they needed to, and they found a way to get it done by the skin of their teeth.
So physical, review after review.
Yeah.
Blood all over the place. Mitchell Robinson banged up. Nerlens Noel was banged up.
Kemba Walker banged up.
Talk to him in a couple of seconds. Kemba Walker banged up. Allen, though, bottom line is, when the game was on the line, final 6 minutes, the Knicks outscored the Rockets by 12 points.
Yeah, it was winning time, of course, and, you know, the Rockets aren't used to winning, so they don't really have that in their DNA. So the Knicks made the plays. They had to make Nerlens Noel. It was great to have him back in the defensive plays, but again, Alec Burks just got it done. He was hot. The Knicks kept finding the hot hand, and that was important. Evan Fournier had a good game, like Wally mentioned, aggressive going to the basket. There was some defense here. The turnovers, as you know, Rockets very careless with the ball. Quick on a 3 off that turnover. The most important thing, again, about this, Wally, was the ability to close this game with, as Tom Thibodeau said, the lineups. Don't worry about who's starting, it's who's finishing.
That's all that matters, and it's Alec Burks' team in the fourth quarter. He showed it. He knocked down every big shot. But you don't create 22 turnovers without playing hard. And I saw a different intensity level out of this Knicks team. They're putting their bodies on the line.
Desperation?
Desperation. Yeah. That's how you win. You said winning's hard, Monica?
Yeah.
It's true. The only way you win in this league is you outwork the other team and you play harder. That's what the Knicks did tonight, and that's how they ended up getting the win.
Fournier, 19 points equals his total for the last 4 games.
It's so hard, Pito. I'm sorry.
Every time you touch it, Evan.
I don't know that we've ever seen Fournier quickly and Burks together to close, but hey,
Boston,
it worked.
Well, not to close, but they shared the floor,
Yeah,
I believe,
Boston,
in the opening game.
Fournier was
The
huge
Boston.
in the Boston game.
Yep.
Right.